You made it through security. Your bags in the overhead bin, your seats by the window. Everything should feel calm. But up at 30,000 feet, there's a silent tension brewing. And here's the twist. You might be the cause of it. Flight attendants are trained to smile through turbulence, delays, and screaming toddlers. But there's a whole list of things passengers do that secretly drive them up the wall. These aren't the obvious ones like being drunk or aggressive. We're talking about seemingly innocent behaviors that create chaos behind the scenes. Understanding what frustrates cabin crew isn't just about being polite, it's strategic. When you avoid these passenger pet peeves, you get better service, smoother interactions, and those genuine smiles instead of the forced ones. You become the passenger they actually want to help. So if you want fewer passive-aggressive glances from behind the curtain and maybe even some insider perks, here are 18 things flight attendants quietly hate, and exactly how to avoid being that passenger. Before we start, I would really appreciate it if you hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It truly means a lot and helps us keep improving our content. The mid-boarding bathroom rush. The boarding lines crawling forward when someone suddenly bolts toward the lavatory. Seems harmless, right? To the crew, it's a miniature crisis unfolding in real time. Boarding is timed down to the minute. Every delay reflects on the flight attendants, not the passenger who couldn't wait 5 more minutes. When one person breaks the line for a bathroom break, it slows everything down. The aisle gets jammed, head counts get thrown off, and worst-case scenario, takeoff gets delayed. Here's something most passengers don't realize. Lavatories are often still being cleaned and restocked during boarding. When you barge in, you're stepping into someone else's prep time. Not exactly considerate. But there's a bigger issue. FAA rules prohibit takeoff if anyone's in the bathroom or out of their seat. So if you're still inside when the pilot gets clearance, the flight might lose its slot and end up waiting. All because of a poorly timed bathroom break. The fix is simple. Use the terminal restroom before boarding. It's bigger, cleaner, and no one's silently judging you while balancing a roller bag against their shins. Overhead bin hogging. You've seen them? Travelers with a roller bag, giant backpack, neck pillow the size of a golden retriever, and shopping bags swinging wildly off one arm. They finally make it onto the plane and jam everything into the first overhead bin they see. Never mind that their seat's 8 rows back. Overhead space is limited real estate. When one person hogs more than their fair share, everyone else scrambles for space. Flight attendants get stuck playing high-stakes luggage Tetris while trying not to delay departure. Even worse is when someone stashes their stuff up front, then walks to the back to sit. That means passengers in front rows have to fight upstream traffic just to retrieve their bags when landing. It's annoying, inefficient, and turns the aisle into rush hour traffic. Here's the golden rule. Bring one carry-on and one personal item. Use the space under the seat in front of you first. If the overhead bin above your seat is open, that's your designated space, not the one that's more convenient 3 rows earlier. Nothing wins a flight attendant's silent approval faster than a passenger who doesn't treat the cabin like their personal storage unit. Offensive odors at altitude. There's always one. The person who opens a tuna sandwich at cruising altitude or kicks off their shoes and lets their socks do the hawking. In that recycled cabin air, everyone becomes an unwilling participant in your scent experience. You're inside a sealed metal tube, breathing the same filtered air as 200 strangers. Whatever smell you release, food, feet, or fragrance, doesn't just stay with you. It becomes a group project that nobody signed up for. Flight attendants stay polite, but many are silently suffering inside their professional smiles. Keep it neutral. Bring snacks that don't smell like science experiments. Use deodorant, and keep your shoes on unless you're absolutely sure those socks are fresh. If it wouldn't fly at a dinner party, don't bring it into the sky. Ignoring service attempts. Your headphones are on, movies playing, you're locked in your entertainment bubble. Then you feel it. A gentle wave in your peripheral vision. It's the flight attendant asking, coffee or tea, but you're completely zoned out. When you ignore them completely, it slows everything down. They're trying to serve 150 people in a tiny aisle with a cart that barely fits. All it takes is a quick glance up, removing one earbud, and a simple answer. They're not trying to break your vibe or start deep conversations. They just need to keep the service moving while the ice is still ice and the coffee's still hot. A moment of human connection keeps everything flowing smoothly. No small talk required. Just acknowledge their presence so they can do their job efficiently. Unauthorized seat switching. You spot an empty row and your brain lights up like a slot machine. Jackpot. So you wave down a flight attendant and ask, "Mind if I move?" On paper, it sounds harmless. In reality, it's a logistical headache. Seat assignments aren't just about comfort. They're part of a carefully balanced plan. Weight distribution matters for aircraft stability. Emergency protocols depend on knowing exactly who's sitting where. When you switch seats without clearance, it throws off everything from service flow to passenger manifests. Plus, it puts the crew in an awkward position. Say yes, and they might be bending safety rules. Say no, and they become the bad guy, crushing your legroom dreams. If you want a better seat, your best shot is at the gate before boarding. Once you're airborne, think of your seat assignment as a commitment, at least for the next few hours. No last-minute real estate deals at 35,000 feet. Standing during turbulence. A little turbulence hits, the seatbelt sign dings on, and almost instantly someone pops up to dig through the overhead bin like it's Black Friday at 30,000 feet. When flight attendants are strapped in, you definitely should be too. Standing during turbulence isn't just risky for you, it's dangerous for everyone around you. You could fall, slam into someone, get hit by a loose cart, or turn into an airborne bowling ball if the plane suddenly drops. Unless it's a genuine emergency, sit tight. That seatbelt sign exists for a reason, and ignoring it isn't just inconsiderate, it's reckless. Save the aisle workouts for after landing when the crew doesn't have to babysit grown adults playing whack-a-mole with overhead bins. Call button abuse. You're thirsty, chilly, or wondering about your connecting flight, so you press the call button. Fair enough. But if you're hitting that button every 10 minutes for snacks, napkins, updates, seat advice, and a second round of peanuts, you're not being resourceful. You're being that passenger. Flight attendants don't mind helping, that's literally their job. But overusing the call button turns a helpful tool into a running joke, and not in a good way. They notice who presses it constantly, and eventually you get mentally filed under low priority. Not ignored, just not rushed. So you use it with intention. Need a drink? Sure. Something urgent? Of course. But don't treat it like a personal concierge buzzer in the sky. This isn't a 5-star hotel. It's a flying metal tube with 200 people and 3 carts of pretzels. Menu indecision drama. You've had the menu for an hour, maybe flipped through it twice. Then the cart rolls up and you ask, "Wait, what are the options?" That sigh you just heard wasn't the engine, it was the flight attendant's soul leaving their body for a second. In-flight meal service runs on a tight schedule. Every moment spent waiting for you to decide means someone behind you is holding their tray table down, wondering if they'll get their first choice or just whatever's left. Here's a simple trick: decide early. Or if you really can't choose, smile and say, "Surprise me." You'll get something edible, and the crew will appreciate your flexibility more than you know. The goal isn't gourmet dining, it's efficiency. Nothing slows down a cart faster than someone turning a 2-item menu into a philosophical dilemma about airline cuisine. Meal service mayhem. Airplane meals aren't exactly 5-star dining, but the moment that cart starts rolling, something strange happens to passengers. They lose all chill and create unnecessary drama around food service. Let's start with expectations. If your first choice meal runs out, don't take it personally. Flights only load a fixed number of each option. If 12 people before you wanted chicken and you're number 13, that's supply and demand, not sabotage. Getting mad at the crew won't conjure extra pasta from the galley. Timing matters too. When the cart's coming through, that's not your cue to stretch in the aisle or take your toddler for a walk. Those carts are heavy, hard to steer, and if one slams into your shin, it's going to hurt. Don't give the flight attendant dirty looks like it was their fault. Then there's the tray drama. Some passengers hand over dirty trays right in the middle of clean meal service. Now there's contaminated dishware sitting where fresh meals should go. Not helpful, just messy. Please don't put trays on the floor either. Nobody wants to fish half-eaten lasagna off the carpet like they're clearing tables at a roadside diner. And stop with the creative stacking. Lining up cups inside bowls and squeezing napkins under juice boxes might feel helpful, but those carts are designed for flat trays, not snack sculptures. The more you stack, the more time they spend unstacking. Ignoring trash collection. You see the trash bag making its way down the aisle. Your cue to hand over empty cups, snack wrappers, and that used napkin you've been hoarding in the seat pocket. But instead, you act like it's invisible or shove everything into the seat back pocket like it's a personal landfill. That pocket isn't a trash can. Someone's sitting there after you, and if it's a short turnaround, the crew might only have minutes to clean the cabin before the next group boards. Be decent. When the trash bag comes around, use it. Don't try handing off garbage when they're mid-beverage service juggling 5 cups. And please don't leave behind a crime scene of crumbs and wrappers for someone else to deal with. A little cleanup goes a long way, especially when the person picking up after you might have just worked 3 flights in a row. Diaper changing disasters. It's a full flight. You're halfway through your meal and then it hits you. Not turbulence, but a smell. Someone just changed a diaper on the tray table where food is supposed to go. Everyone loves babies, but that tray is meant for meals, not biological hazards. Every airplane has a bathroom with a changing table. It's not glamorous, but it exists specifically for this purpose. Don't change your baby in the middle seat of row 22, and definitely don't hand that dirty diaper to a flight attendant like it's part of the meal service. Wrap it, bag it, and walk it to the lavatory trash bin like a considerate human being. Changing diapers on tray tables isn't efficient, it's gross. And now nobody wants to touch their food. Bathroom etiquette failures. It's tiny, turbulent, and probably smells off before you even enter. But the airplane bathroom still deserves basic respect from the hundreds of people sharing that closet in the sky. Flush the toilet, wash your hands, wipe down the sink if you've splashed water everywhere. When you leave, close the door behind you. It's not a dressing room where people need full views of your "I was here" moment. Flight attendants have to check that bathroom every 30 minutes to ensure it hasn't turned into a horror movie set. You can't control what the previous person did, but you can make sure you're not the one who ruins it for the next passenger. It's not about being fancy, it's about not being gross in a space that hundreds of people will use. Safety demo disrespect. The cabin lights dim, seatbelt signs blink on, and a flight attendant steps into the aisle ready to walk you through the safety briefing. Half the plane immediately zones out. Headphones go in, phones come out, and the safety demo becomes white noise. That demonstration isn't entertainment, it's information that could save your life if something goes wrong. Even seasoned travelers forget where their nearest exit is or how to properly use a life vest. Paying attention takes 2 minutes and shows the crew you respect what they're doing. You might not need that information, but if you ever do, you'll be glad you listened. Besides, some airlines make their demos genuinely entertaining. Give them a chance. It might be the only in-flight performance that doesn't cost extra. Unwanted physical contact. It might seem innocent. A tap on the arm, gentle nudge, or light grab at the elbow to get attention. But if you wouldn't do that to a stranger at a restaurant, don't do it to someone working at 35,000 feet. Flight attendants aren't props or interactive displays. They're professionals doing their jobs in tight spaces, often balancing trays of hot coffee or maneuvering through turbulence. Getting poked, tugged, or grabbed isn't just uncomfortable, it's borderline disrespectful. If you need help, there are better ways. Say, "Excuse me," use the call button, make eye contact, and most importantly, keep your hands to yourself. A little courtesy goes a long way in the sky, where personal space is already on life support. Recording without consent. You've seen the viral clips. Someone pulls out their phone during a heated moment with crew members, uploads it, and the internet explodes with opinions. But here's what most people miss. Recording flight attendants without consent isn't just rude, it can get you in serious trouble. It creates tension, distracts from real safety duties, and fuels drama in a space where calm is critical for everyone's well-being. Plus, nobody signed up to become background content for your social media. Got an issue with service? File a complaint after the flight. Most airlines take concerns seriously and investigate properly. But pointing a camera in someone's face mid-shift isn't justice. It's adding fuel to an already pressurized situation where professionalism matters most. Foot wandering. Legroom is tight, and you're trying to find that magical position where your knees don't feel hostage. We get it. But here's what flight attendants and fellow passengers hate: when your feet start exploring places they shouldn't. That means toes poking between seats, feet resting on tray tables or armrests, or worst of all, someone else's seat. Yes, it happens more often than you'd think, and it's not cute or acceptable. We all want to get comfortable, but your feet aren't VIPs that need their own vacation. Keep them on the floor, in your designated space, and out of everyone else's territory. It's not just about manners, it's about basic respect in a place where shared space is sacred. Landing preparation, Defiance. The plane starts its descent and the intercom chimes. Please return seatbacks to the upright position and stow your tray tables. Yet you're still reclined halfway to first class with your tray hosting protein bar remains and a half-finished crossword puzzle. You might think nobody notices, but the crew always does. These aren't optional suggestions. They're safety requirements. Seats and trays need specific positioning in case of rough landings or sudden stops. That's not just procedure, it's passenger protection. Don't fake sleep either. They've seen that move 1,000 times and it makes everything more awkward. Be the adult in the situation. Adjust your seat and fold your tray. It takes 5 seconds and saves everyone unnecessary hassle. Post-flight mess creation. The flight's over, you grab your bag and head for the door. But behind you, a battlefield of crumbs on seats, napkins on floors, and stir sticks rolling around like tumbleweeds. Flight attendants don't clock out when wheels hit the ground. They often have less than 30 minutes to turn that aircraft around for the next departure. If your row looks like a snack explosion, guess who cleans it up? Quick cleanup makes a huge difference. Toss trash when bags come around, wipe your crumbs, don't leave science experiments in seat pockets. If your mom wouldn't be proud of the mess, don't leave it on an airplane. It's not about perfection. It's about not being that passenger who treats the cabin like their personal disaster zone. Now you know 18 things that secretly frustrate flight attendants and exactly how to avoid each one. Air travel doesn't have to be stressful for anyone involved. A little courtesy goes a long way, especially when you're sharing tight spaces, recycled air, and 4 bathrooms with 180 people. When you're considerate of cabin crew, you're not just being polite. You're making strategic choices that improve your own travel experience. Happy flight attendants provide better service, offer more flexibility, and sometimes even share insider tips that make your journey smoother. Which of these surprised you most? Have you been guilty of any of these passenger behaviors? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your honesty might help fellow travelers become better passengers. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to Journey Tips for more behind-the-scenes travel insights. Share this with anyone who flies regularly. These tips could transform their relationship with cabin crew and make everyone's journey more pleasant. Thanks so much for watching. Safe travels, and I'll see you on the next Journey Tip.